I guess with everything going on with all these transgressions against the colored community, we need a black wrestler.
Oh man,
pull up Flash Funk.
The Nation. There's no better than the Nation if we're going to talk about the state of affairs.
I mean, this is true. This is true. I just didn't know if you wanted to be militant or if you wanted to be.
You fucking right. I want to be militant. In fact,
you see, I did it on the Instagram account already.
In fact, this conversation is starting the show.
Well, I mean, hey, sometimes you gotta.
Welcome to the Broken Pencil Booking Company. I am your host. I am Wood.
You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgundy.
Man, we are going to recap SummerSlam. That's SummerSlam.
Yeah. No. We're gonna
recap Extreme Rules
and then fantasy book SummerSlam.
We're gonna hit you with the SummerSlam mixtape with the same rules we gave you for the WrestleMania mixtape, which is we cannot use the same wrestler twice.
So we got a full show to this episode.
Wait, hold on. Plot twist. So this episode that you're listening to right now will be the recap for Extreme Rules.
Okay.
We're going to drop them the mixtape next Tuesday.
That sounds like such highway robbery. Hey, guys, I'm going to try to veto this. I'm going to try to get all this stuff on one episode. I feel like we should give it all to them. Don't give them half. Give them the whole thing. That's how you get it a call back.
You will know if the WrestleMania mixtape makes this episode by how long this episode is.
Well, we're judging by our times are wasted. Pull the card up from Extreme Rules. I'm trying to advocate for the listener.
So you are the listener's advocate. You are the Paul Heyman for the people.
Allow me another volley, sir.
Your negotiation skills.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to create a 2-sport champion.
Extreme Rules 2018. We had it was pretty decent card here.
Now, some people may be wondering why we're not doing our patented BPBCS rating system.
We deemed it not worthy.
Basically,
let's bottom line it,
because we absolutely had the conversation like, do we rank this pay-per-view? And
let me think about it. Nah.
Yeah, well, it was like, nah, it ain't gonna work. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna ride with my OG.
Looking at the time on these pay-per-view matches, I would dare say we made the correct call. Hold on, I call bullshit already. I'm looking at this card. Fam.
First flag.
The first flag on the play is the fact that who owns the record for the fastest loss ever? Is it? It's not.
Fastest loss?
Yeah, as far as pinfall.
I know for a long time it was Special Delivery Jones at WrestleMania.
It was like 9 seconds. 9 seconds. Then it got to like 6 seconons. Then it got to like 5 seconds.
Daniel Bryan ended up breaking it. No, he didn't because he was 18. Yeah, okay.
So they're saying the Nakamura Hardy match was 6 seconds. Nope, because I want you to think about this. The bell rung and it was a 1, 2, 3. The nut shot happened way before.
But you had to give it enough time for Nakamura to run across the ring and drop the knee. So that's where your extra 3 seconds comes from.
But even the 3 count was like a 2 count because that third count was like, let me get the hell out of here.
I'm gonna ride with 6 seconds. I'll give it 7, but either way.
I'm just glad that they didn't shortchange Jeff Hardy and make him the fastest loser ever.
He is the fastest loser ever.
Not ever. I'm sure there's.
Who's ever?
We'll have the answers to that before this show is over.
How fast did he lose to Sting in TNA?
We can pull that match up. That match. He was staggering too much.
It took him too long to stagger. It took him longer to stagger to the ring than it did to lose.
There was probably because there was a Stinger splash involved in that. That alone is 6 seconds.
This is true. You're right. I stand corrected.
Let's go up the top of the card. Do we go with the pre-show? Actually, no. I can't go with the pre-show totally.
Nah, fam.
But it's good. It's good to see that Andrade Cien Almas is actually on the card.
Cartel boss.
Coming soon because he defeated Sin Cara.
Underboss.
They coming.
I want a clique of Mexicans out here slanging dope.
The same way I feel about the Samoan dynasties, the same way you feel about the essays.
Stagger the flipping it. Stagger the flipping it. Yeah, I want a whole crew of Mexicans.
We said it'd be whipping to work.
The only person that shouldn't have a mask on is Selena Vega.
Hey.
Squad.
All right, so Sanity. Eric Young, Killian Dane, Alexander Wolf. I love Eric Young just from his TNA days. I love Eric Young. I like what he's doing here. And they're giving you shades of his vintage heel TNA days right now. His Team Canada days, you're seeing that right now with Sanity. And they defeated the New Day. Real tough. In the pre-show match, it was only 8 minutes in the tables match. But they both pulled out some things that we haven't seen.
The New Day deserves better than this. Well, them and Sanity, like an 8-minute match
they both deserve better than the pre-show.
Both teams deserve better. They deserve better. And in addition to this, if Sanity's going to get this kind of push, I will say this again, I want the original Wyatt family reincarnated.
In full.
Full.
And by in full, I mean we want bludgeoning, no pun intended, and complete absence of people. I want people disappeared. I want people gone.
I want lanterns. I want people abducted. I want full creepy, campy Wyatt family.
Cobwebs for 6 weeks before you show back up on TV and you're scared out of your mind, even losing matches. We want all that. I want to know why Xavier Woods was shook.
No one will ever know.
That's what I'm saying. I want to know that. The B team. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel finally get their just due. They beat Matt and Bray.
I'm happy for them because we've been calling this on Broken Pencil for the entire.
We popped them off. We hashtag you can't write this
for the entire lifespan of the show. We've been B team supporters. It's just every time Bray gets some momentum,
he can't sniff good life. He just can't.
He's sniffing good life. I'll be honest with you. He's sniffing good life. It's professionally where things just tend to derail every so often.
How did they manage to keep Bray and Bo away from each other for 8 minutes? They got close, but they completely missed each other the entire match.
There has to be a bigger plan there because that can't just be.
I still think Bo needs to grow his beard out. Bo needs to be a Wyatt.
True.
I think that'd be the killer team right there.
We gotta do something.
Balor and Corbin.
Wasn't interested.
If anything, it was comedy. If you watch the pay-per-view, I think it was comedy.
I was not interested.
Corbin is the hall monitor whose ass you always wanted to beat, but for some odd reason told you not to because you didn't want to get a pass, like a pink slip or whatever. That's him.
Every time I see his new gimmick, it just reminds me of a Bennigan shift leader.
I want my keys to my car.
Valet Corbin.
Oh, let's talk about this fucking train wreck.
Which one?
Carmella and Asuka. give me. I want you. You might give me more information on this match than what the match was worth in time. So
I can't because my face was in my phone. Like when I realized they spent more time talking about Ellsworth in the cage. It was like the year before where Enzo was in the cage and it was Cass versus Big Show. And they spent the whole match talking about Enzo in the cage and how Enzo was going to sneak out of the cage.
Now, help me understand. This ain't broken pencil logic. This is pro wrestling logic. And I do say pro wrestling.
Right.
Since the advent of the shark cage, where has the shark cage been?
I've seen it at ringside.
Okay.
I've seen it above the ring. I have seen it. Those are the two places that I most often see the shark cage.
The lesser of the two places I've seen it has been above the ring more so than outside the ring. That said, have you ever seen a shark cage hang that damn low?
That I have not.
So who was scared of heights? The person pulling the cage or James Ellsworth?
Both.
How the hell did he get out the cage and hang upside down to the point to where the referees had to stop the match and we get to see his flak jacket?
Because it was gimmicked that way.
Was it? Like, you think that was planned? You honestly think that kid that could not have been planned?
The fact that he's wearing a flak jacket tells you that it was planned, that he was supposed to be basically a punching bag.
But the fact that we saw that flak jacket, there was no
tuck your damn shirt in.
Oh man.
Like put on body compression, put on I don't want to say a onesie, but like put on a singlet under your sweats and your t-shirt so people can't see the flak jacket. That's just a piss poor wardrobe choice. But other than that, it's like this was planned. It just wasn't really good because the ending of the match is planned. That's why it's so low. It's so low, so it takes less time for the cage to get down to the level that it needs to be so Asuka can get her head banged off of it.
And speaking of Asuka getting her head banged off the cage, what is she going anywhere? Like,
nope.
or is she done?
She's not done. She can't be done because there's entirely too much competition for her. But she's done for the time being.
Hashtag broken pencil logic. This is where Suave Burgundy is really thinking Yakuza coming.
Look, I want gang warfare. And at this point, what are you doing with Asuka? If you're not going to give her a mouthpiece and someone to speak English on her behalf, jobbing her out to Carmella repeatedly with no... You don't have anything else to do with her come SummerSlam other than put her in a cage with Ellsworth and let her maul him.
And speaking of Yakuza coming, rest in peace, Masa Saito.
Yes, rest in peace to Masa Saito. Look, you done already had me give away one of my fantasy bookings for SummerSlam talking about this nonsense they doing with Asuka. My daughter loves Asuka, and now what am I supposed to say?
We got... Sorry.
No. We will not teach her to do that. We will not ruin. No. There are plenty of years for me to suggest all types of ridiculous verbiage, but we're not gonna start now.
Too easy.
All
right. So speaking of Yakuza coming, Shinsuke Nakamura
finally.
Shinsuke Nutshot Mura.
He should have done this to AJ.
This people, I keep hearing how people detest this nutshot business.
It is greatness.
This is the most fabulous gimmick I have seen in quite some time.
It is shifty, shady foreigner
who does not speak.
The diabolical Japanese foreigner with the nutshot and cannot speak English.
We see a 6-second massacre of Jeff Hardy and taking his title, and we also see a returning. Is it the Legend Killer or is it the Viper Killer? I like the Viper Killer right now.
I gotta see SmackDown. I felt like the spot at the end of that where Randy Orton came out, like something else was supposed to happen, and then he just double leg takedown and stomped him in the nuts.
This is
it looked disjointed.
This is what I got from that. An RKO out of nowhere
would have got a pop.
A huge pop. This Randy Orton is not looking for a pop. This Randy Orton is more sadistic than the Randy Orton that was part of the Authority.
Like I understood it after it was over. I was like, okay, you can't RKO him because that gets a pop. You can't punt him if you're going to end up doing something with him.
Honestly, I really think Randy Orton went back. I thought he lost it for a second and wanted to do a punt, and the closest thing we could get to that was a kick to the gut.
Come on, man. Seth Rollins is doing the curb stomp. Can we not kick this man in the head?
Nope, because who was the last person Randy Orton punted?
Didn't he punt Vince on accident?
I believe it was Stephanie.
He got Steph too?
Yeah, he got he
got the whole family. He just done kicked the whole family stupid.
I could be wrong in thinking that the last person he kicked was Stephanie, but I do vividly remember him kicking Stephanie.
Whatever. We can find ways around it. Like, y'all, come on, man. It's a special occasion.
I agree. I think
pop. What do you do for a special occasion?
Every
pop bottle.
Every 5 months, and I say 5 months because no one celebrates 5 months. To celebrate 1, 3, 6, or 12, right? Yeah. Every 5 months, we need to see a punt. Every 19 weeks, we need to see a damn punt.
You can just roll the dice, and at one of the big 5, someone needs to be punted once a year.
One of the big 5. And maybe one off-brand one in the fall.
Okay. Like, set up a Survivor Series with a punt.
Give me the elimination with a punt.
Give me something.
All right. Talk of the night.
Who next?
Talk of the night, fam. This one got the reaction of the night from everybody.
Did it?
KO versus Braun Strowman.
The Attitude Era tribute. 20 years since Foley's fall from grace.
Literal fall from grace. How about the fact that it happened in the same city?
I'm sure that influenced it a lot. I'm almost certain that is how it was pitched by somebody.
While you were giving a holy shit via the group chat,
I did, because I didn't see that coming.
I'm gonna tell you what I didn't see coming. I saw Braun Strowman breaking the handcuffs, but my God, how fast did he scale that cage?
I was looking down at the group text while he scaled the cage. So
he ran up the cage.
Here's what I was expecting. I didn't expect him to break the handcuffs at first. What I expected him to do was all of a sudden Braun was going to be really smart, open the door, step through the ropes. He's tall enough to hit the floor while still being attached to the rope.
That's a heel move, though.
That's just monster with brains.
Okay.
Because Braun's a tweener. Yes, he gets a face reaction, but he's never declared himself a face. It's just he's done one face thing in the last 12 months and said, "My buddy Finn." That's it.
Very true.
That and picking a child out of the crowd at WrestleMania, but that was just poor booking.
I literally just forgot about that. Well, forgot about that until just now. So
Nicholas was just poor booking, but the one face thing baby face thing he's done was said, "My buddy Finn." Other than that, it's been the same Braun that was like flipping ambulances with Roman Reigns in them.
So this match proves two things. It proves that Braun Strowman is bulletproof. It proves that Kevin Owens is Vince and Larry put into one. He's a crash test dummy.
Vince and Larry.
This man went through a table
sideways
at full velocity that was padded, and the padding made it look like it hurt worse than it not being padded like it wasn't 20 years ago.
Yeah, the table dropped like an air shock.
And I mean, he bounced. Like there was no like
he hit when they showed the slow motion. He hit so ugly.
Yeah, that was bad. And I just the speed at which he hit that table, fam. I don't understand how
about
he is.
What, 285
miles per hour?
Yikes! I mean, it looked incredible, but then when you see it in slow motion, like, oh. Damn,
yeah,
bro.
It was
there's no way. There's not a safe. It looked like he may have protected himself, but there's no way to do that safely.
And this match had a winner and a loser, and the winner and
They're
the loser
both Braun Strowman.
No, they were both Kevin Owens.
Like, good God! Like
Braun Strowman just walked away. Kevin Owens was the winner and the loser, and you know that because his music didn't even play. Braun's did.
That's crazy, bro.
Bludgeon Brothers versus Team Hell No. This was the most kooky storyline.
Daniel, if you want better, resign. That's all I can say. Until he resigns, you're going to keep seeing stuff like this.
Well,
if he had resigned, you'd have had a title change.
When you see SmackDown tonight, you will understand. And mind you, I've seen SmackDown tonight, and
I have not.
My man has not. So, and this is Tuesday, July 17th. We're all over the place.
Year of our Lord. Year of our Lord 2018.
Broken Pencil Logic.
Yeah.
Hashtag, you can't write this. Hashtag, mark my words. Hashtag, Folk Life Shouting.
Folk Life Shouting.
What else we got? BrokenpencilBC at gmail.com and at BrokenpencilBC on all things social.
They know.
You motherfuckers know. Bludgeon Brothers versus Team Hell No. Look, so the whole angle with the ankle thing, like it made more sense after we saw the backstage news about Kane's foot. But come on, man, you could have done better than that. It looked like you killed his knee, and he walks out with a boot on.
It was one of those things where everybody, I guess, didn't pay enough attention to the details.
Yeah, the devils were definitely the devil in this one. Here. The devil was definitely in the details.
Because
speaking of devil, Kane,
right? So if his ankles hurt beforehand, which I mean it happens, Then you set this up to explain why. But then Kane sells the knee. And then while he's selling the knee, you put a walking boot on him. So his knee is fine.
So his knee's fine, but he can't put pressure on his leg. Like, he can't put any weight on his leg because his foot's hurt.
Because if it was his knee and then you put a walking boot on it, he should collapse.
First of all, the attempt at a chokeslam was not ever going to happen if your knee's hurt, ever. Especially on cats as big as the Bludgeon Brothers.
I figured they were going to use that as a way to, to sell. Like, Kane would have taken the pinfall. He would have tried to do too much and then get pinned because his leg gave out on him. He didn't even take the pinfall.
And who is anybody to believe that Daniel Bryan's going to sit out there by himself and take on the Bludgeon Brothers?
I figured they were going to use... Somebody could have been his replacement.
But yeah, I figured somebody was going to come out just to kind of, add some nostalgia, because apparently he's on this whirlwind tour of old stuff. But I didn't like the fact that they even put the team back together, considering that the last feud Daniel Bryan was in was with Kane prior to his retirement.
Okay, check me out. On the spot, who would you have had replace Kane if somebody was to replace him?
Oh, coming out the back, who wasn't already who didn't already have any business going.
Yeah, somebody with some history.
I can't think of anybody off the top.
Because I wouldn't have wanted to turn Joe face, but that would have made sense.
That only would have made sense. Who else do we have in the back? I would have liked to see maybe Cesaro, but that wouldn't have done anything for either one of them.
I would. To me, I would have felt like replacing the whole team, just replace them both and just have the Bar face the Bludgeon Brothers, but that doesn't really make any sense either.
Well, yeah, because there's nothing built in there.
I don't know who's on SmackDown that would work for.
There's nobody that just built in. The
Daniel Bryan has no friends.
Aren't the Usos hurt?
No.
So the Usos could have come in, and I'm stretching because of Total Divas. That's a real stretch.
Nope. Because you wouldn't have split up the best working tag team on SmackDown.
No. That's keeping Daniel Bryan out the mix. And then bring him back in.
I'm saying give him a new partner. Give him someone else besides Kane.
There's nobody there. There's nobody there ready to work with him.
So the biggest face on SmackDown has no friends.
You will find out how critical this is once you watch SmackDown. I hate the fact this has turned into a goddamn advertisement for SmackDown. You'll find out how true SmackDown is once you watch SmackDown.
I'll read about it, but I'm just
because
saying.
The feud for SmackDown before SummerSlam with Daniel Bryan has been made tonight. You know who it is.
The Miz.
Yeah, but it's how we're going to get there. It's going to be very interesting for you as a writer.
I'm still saying. I'm absolutely still. Oh, okay. You want to book on the fly? I would have had the Miz come out and replace him.
Replace?
Yes, the Miz come out, replace Kane, do some fluky schmaz like a roll up on one of the Bludgeon Brothers, and now Daniel Bryan and the Miz are tag team champions, but they hate each other.
Like Cena and who was it? Was it Cena and HBK that hated each other with tag teams for like a hot? No, Cena and the Miz. It was Cena and the Miz.
Cena and Miz hated each other. I know Austin and Michaels hated each other as tag team champions. It's been done before, but I'm just saying, like, yeah.
All right, so fast forward, Lashley and Reigns. That was the next match.
Better than I expected. Started really slow.
Oh, way better than I expected. And let's talk about the fact that Bobby Lashley was working dead for 3 minutes.
Yeah, he got slept. For those of you who don't know, Bobby Lashley got slid about 3 minutes into this match. That back elbow coming off the ropes caught him flush.
And he took a very risky jump over the top rope while he was still recovering from said elbow that looked like he landed face first, body first onto the concrete.
Because I swear. Now this is just me watching this, so I can't say that this is true or this is what happened. What looked like happened was during their initial part of the match where Lashley's like doing takedowns and throws and drops Reigns on his hip. And Reigns almost kind of says it like, you actually dropped me on my fucking hip, bro. Right after that comes the back elbow.
And
Tweety Bird is flying around Bobby Lashley's head.
Anybody with a microphone within an earshot is telling you about how bad that elbow was. And that actually became the story of the match. Because is that one damn elbow.
Because his eyes were not open.
They looked like donuts when you were able to see them.
Hot light.
But 15-minute match, though.
Not bad at all.
Not for those two. You talking about two super heavyweights? That was a pretty good match.
Parts of that match looked like Lesnar. It looked like a better version of Lesnar Reigns from WrestleMania 34. Like, it really dawned on me when they did the belly to belly suplex over the announcer's table spot.
Yeah. They got real grimy out, especially on the outside. They made it look believable on the outside, and I can appreciate that because when you have two big guys like that, you want them to look like they're killing each other.
No, they worked a hell of a match. They get kudos.
Yes, Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax.
Kudos to the placement on that match too, because they didn't make it close the show.
It did not close the show, and it gave enough time to.
It was better for it
to give. I mean, to me, I think it gave some steam to the Alexa Bliss Nia Jax match.
I tuned out.
How dare you?
I mean,
so the story of this match was:
if you're not gonna book Nia Jax like Vader, I don't care.
Nah, which you definitely didn't do. And then Ronda Rousey. Now, mind you, I did take a break during this for myself, but I did come back. I did come back and see the clusterfuck that was Ronda Rousey coming back out.
What happened to the women's revolution?
We'll address that when we get to the to our SummerSlam mixtape.
Well, let me say what is happening to the women's revolution.
Where's Charlotte?
She is.
Is she still recovering?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for already knowing. That way, I didn't have to go into detail.
Well, yeah, that's.
Yeah, she's still in recovery.
All right. So yeah, Alexa retains. We'll fast forward from that.
Meh.
One of this, and not to discredit Alexa, I really like. She's the best on the stick.
She's dope. She's a dope individual performer.
She and Miz on any given week could go back and forth for the title for the best on the mic. And but this match didn't do her any favors whatsoever. The only thing it did was make sure she kept the title. AJ versus Rusev. I thought it was going to be Rusev Day.
I was hoping. I rooted against false hope that it was going to be Rusev Day, but I know better.
But I'm actually glad that AJ is actually getting a solid title run. I think it's. But you have to do your due diligence and make.
I think they heard what we said on our other episode about Brock breaking the longest streak record with the wrong title. You might actually see AJ break CM Punk's streak with the WWE Championship.
Using broken pencil logic, who is going to take this title away from AJ?
I would like for it to be Samoa Joe, but that's just me wishful thinking.
How soon?
Royal Rumble.
The earliest I see that happening would be Royal Rumble. The latest I see it happening will be Mania.
I don't. It depends. Like, because you have two champions and two different shows. Yes, you can have a heel dethrone a champion at WrestleMania, but my guess would be, maybe Joe wins at Rumble. Rematch at Fastlane or whatever the pay-per-view is going to be called before Mania.
It'll be Fastlane because Roadblock is before. Right. In between the two now. So
Roadblock, Fastlane, like you get a rematch and then a third blow off, and then whoever your biggest babyface challenger is. If Daniel Bryan's re-signed, it's probably him.
Okay.
And maybe Joe. Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. But that's me saying that's what I want to have happen.
I'm with it. And then killing the show. Now I do mean killing the show in a great way. Zig with McIntyre in his corner.
I'm not mad at that match.
Defeating Seth Rollins in a sudden death overtime in the 30-minute Iron Man match. I'm not even mad at the finish.
I had such high expectations that I think I put it too high. My expectations were way too high.
I think if you go back and watch it again, I think it would be everything that you wanted an Iron Man match to be 20 years ago.
Yeah, but I'm not disappointed in anything I got. Everything made sense. And then I guess I don't know what your plan for Seth Rollins for SummerSlam is at this point.
For Rollins?
Like, is it going to be Rollins, McIntyre? Okay. I'm killing our heat for later on. So just
now is a good time for a break so we can come back with our predictions for what possibly could be our SummerSlam card.
Yeah, we're gonna fantasy book SummerSlam, broken pencil logic, and you can't write this because we're not gonna write it either.
Mark my words and
fuck life, shawty.
And we're back on the Broken Pencil Booking Company. I am Wood.
You stay classy, Internet. I'm Suave Burgundy.
This coming Sunday, July 22nd, 2018.
Year of our Lord.
We are attempting to embark on a house show of sorts that is also a TV taping for a company called World Class Revolution to celebrate the birthday of the late, great David Von Erich.
The Yellow Rose of Texas.
Scheduled to appear such notables as Marshall and Ross Von Erich, which are the sons of Kevin.
Okay.
Our friend and yours, the Iceman King Parsons. Have mercy.
Have mercy. It bees that way sometimes.
That's what Mama said. Chavo Guerrero, Matt Stryker,
Chavito.
MVP, Trevor Murdoch, the loose cannon Scott Steiner,
Shout
Big
out
Papa
MVP.
Pump, that is.
A word?
Yeah, man.
I got 142% chance getting to this money, baby. Yeah. Straight up.
Lance Hoyt.
Word?
I'm telling you, this card is.
I thought he would never come back from Japan.
He's here, apparently here in Texas. And then on like the night before, they're doing a TV taping at South Fork Ranch. And let's see if there are any other names on here worth. Tyra Valkyrie, Angelina Love, Charlene Tilton starring as Lucy Ewing in true South Fork Ranch fashion. Oh, Ricardo Rodriguez.
Oh, wow.
Fam, this is interesting.
I'm about to pull up.
I'm looking forward to the Sunday show, but I'm kind of mad I won't be at the Saturday show.
We may have found something to do here.
So, yeah, you guys feel free to check it out, worldclassprowrestling.com. Don't get it confused with World Class Championship Wrestling. Just worldclassprowrestling.com.
We're going to get the Sportatorium rebuilt.
And they're really doing a TV station. There's a station in Missouri.
Missouri.
That's that apparently shows this TV show.
We're going to figure out if we can get that on YouTube or something.
And there's two stations in Missouri. One in St. Joseph, Missouri, and the other one in Joplin. Huh. Who knew?
For a half second, I thought you said Joppy.
No, did not. Good try though. They got video clips on the website too. Make sure you check it out because hopefully we can get it. Oh, and just in, they just signed veteran baseball slugger Jose Canseco.
Why?
I don't know. I have no idea, but he looks bigger than anybody on their roster.
That's a shame. That has to be like a shameless ploy.
All right, so enough about that. I'm interested. We'll see how it checks out Sunday. Hopefully, we can get some interviews with some folks. So we were talking about the SummerSlam card booking, like fantasy booking. I'm gonna leave this up to you because I really only have one request. I mean, they've shot every idea they've had in the mud. The only way I'm going to be interested in watching SummerSlam is if you have championship matches that are already lined up, with the exception of the Universal. But you put everybody else that's worthy of being in contention. And bring back the King of the Ring, and the winner gets Brock's title.
They're not going to strip him at this point.
Yeah, we know this, but that's what I wanted to see. But that's it. That's all I got.
We pulled up WWE.com, and we have the list of champions, and we got the whole roster. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a little mix and match. We're going to, because the website starts with champions first, we're going to build the card from the main event back down.
All right.
At this point, because of all things and the way that they go, and here's the framework for this. We're only booking based on what we have, so we're not going to create a completely new landscape. We're going to take what the ingredients we have. We're going to cook dinner.
All this can change based on the grocery list being expanded or being taken away from next week. So I'm with you.
Right. So I'm going to say, for the sake of argument and for the sake of my card, Lashley beats Reigns next week on Raw.
I would like to say that.
Not going to happen in real life. At least I don't think.
There are too many factors that tell me that that's not going to happen. They're starting with VKM.
It begins and ends with him.
There are too many losses, and by too many I mean two, for Roman Reigns on with Lashley involved.
WWE logic says Lashley won at Extreme Rules. Reigns will win on Raw. Reigns beats Lesnar. Then the first challenger is Lashley, the pay-per-view afterwards.
Here's a plot twist. Who else has vested interest in that title?
Balor.
I can name 4 other people that were in matches.
Everybody who was in the ring on Raw that ended up being split into the 2 triple threats, all of them have viable claims.
And for that reason, especially with Drew McIntyre being in the position that he's in, I wouldn't mind seeing. Well, I can't say I wouldn't mind seeing because I actually would be pretty pissed. I want to see a 1-on-1 match between Brock and Lashley. I got a feeling that there's going to be a DQ involved. It's going to be a no contest, and we're going to get a triple threat.
I don't want that at all. However, my version of the Broken Pencil Logic booking, I want Lashley versus Lesnar, and this is for a specific reason. Lashley versus Lesnar. You haven't seen it. You get to build around it. Obviously, you will have a defined face and heel. You will have people cheering for Lashley because he's there.
They already hate Brock, and Brock has done nothing.
Exactly. So you don't have that. You don't have the Roman Reigns effect where they try to find a way to shit on a good match.
No.
No one's going to look for that.
No, they're going to find a way to make this match great from good.
Exactly. So I'll take them.
All right.
I'll take them as my main event.
I can agree with you on that. I'm so jaded on that one because I know we're not going to get it in that form.
Lashley goes over.
And gets over.
Goes over, gets over. Clean.
Okay.
Braun shows up to cash in.
No.
Hold on. There's more. Don't shit on it just yet. Braun shows up to cash in. Bell rings. So the briefcase is gone. They get to going at it very shortly. Who shows up?
Roman?
Kevin Owens.
Whoa.
Turned up foolish Kevin Owens. And goes ape shit on Braun.
I like it. I don't like it at SummerSlam. I like it at Raw at Barclays.
No. I want all. If this is going to be a 4-hour show and SummerSlam is going to be 4.5, almost 5 hours, I want all my shit turned up right then. We'll figure out the next night once we get to it because I'm not booking Raw. Kevin Owens ruins the cash in. We go off the air. Lashley and Braun laid out. Kevin Owens breathing hard, frothing at the mouth, swinging a chair, completely lost his mind. That's how you end SummerSlam.
Okay, I'm not mad at that because then the crowd is like holding their chairs, like holding their faces.
Right.
They're getting the holy shit moment that they wanted, and
then you have this cloud of misunderstanding hanging over the Universal title. All you know is Lashley's still champion. Braun didn't really get his cash in moment. Kevin Owens is responsible. Who is Braun gonna go ape on first?
KO.
You would think so.
Uh-oh.
But that's how you book Raw the next night. That's me with this pen in my hand. Slide over.
That's that broken pencil logic right there.
Next champion on the list, AJ Styles.
Okay. Who can he possibly dance with? Who do you?
Joe.
You think we
Joe?
Nobody else.
Joe. I'm tired of waiting on Joe to get his due. Joe versus AJ. That's what I want. I don't even care what the story is. Joe versus AJ because I know they're gonna give me good work. Joe versus AJ. Next champion, Alexa Bliss. Bliss and Rousey. This makes sense.
Bliss and Rousey.
I don't see any reason not to.
Do you think Rousey gets it then? Because this will be her third match.
You're going to have the most eyes on her. So from a PR standpoint, yes. And the reason I say that also is because, truth be told, I was doing a little extra reading. But you do have Survivor Series looming. So you would expect if Ronda wins at SummerSlam or any time in a reasonable facsimile thereof around that time, she's going to hold the title through November, right? You're going to end up with a champion versus champion scenario. Because they're probably going to do Raw versus SmackDown again.
Yeah, it's true. Very true.
So you're looking at one, being able to get a dream match out of the way, or two, being able to sacrifice whoever's holding the title to the Raw Women's Champion. So you either have Carmella still champion through Survivor Series, or you get to knock off a dream match.
So, I'm thinking and I understand, like, you want all your champions versus your champions for Survivor Series for obvious reasons. It's the bragging rights pay-per-view.
Right.
But when do you pull the trigger on the 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen then, or do you wait until next year? Because
that's been my argument for the last year or so. Your argument has been do it at WrestleMania.
No, actually, I've said a Survivor Series.
Okay.
I said Survivor Series, and the reason why I said that is because it doesn't. If anything, it hides the deficiencies that are Shayna Baszler and Ronda.
And kind of what makes it difficult to get there for Survivor Series is that you have the 4 horsewomen of WWE spread out across both.
That's going to be the next thing I was going to say, is the fact that Bayley and Sasha, not for the most part, they are currently on Raw, and then Becky and Charlotte on SmackDown.
So it makes it easier to do it at WrestleMania because you don't have to shift the roster to make it happen.
Correct. All right, I'm with that.
So that would slide us down to our next champion, Carmella.
Man, who in the hell? Do you think that they put it back on Becky?
Yes.
At SummerSlam?
Yes.
So you think she just runs roughshod over Carmella next week on SmackDown and then takes the title?
If we were booking it, yes, I would build her up strong and just have her just kind of run roughshod all the way up through SummerSlam. However, it probably won't play out that way.
Do you possibly see Asuka pulling the same thing that Randy Orton is doing for Nakamura for Carmella?
Nah, I got something else for Asuka.
Okay.
Speaking of which, since you brought her up, I got Asuka in a gimmick match with Ellsworth.
At Survivor Series?
No, at SummerSlam.
I mean, yeah. too many double S's. But yes,
put him in a cage. Come up with a gimmick match. Do whatever it is you want to do, because basically it's gonna be an opportunity for Asuka to shine. Asuka's gonna use Ellsworth as a punching bag for about 5 to 8 minutes. Get her win. And then Ellsworth can go on to whatever else he's going to do, if anything at all. But Asuka's got to get some heat back.
She definitely needs to get some heat back. But who else on that roster can she get heat with?
She has to get it back from Ellsworth first, and then you can move forward.
Break forward. Okay, yeah. All right.
So that's a good feel good moment for everybody in the crowd at Barclays. It takes up a little time. Shouldn't be a long match. You get to see Asuka hit all her strikes, do all her specialty moves. She gets the win, she gets the pop, and then we go on to rebuild.
Now you go to the best entertainers on the roster, the best wrestlers on the roster.
Dolph Ziggler, the Intercontinental Champion.
Your man's so he not only did he eliminate Seth Rollins from contention, but you single-handedly took a shit on 4 people in one night by putting them into the title picture, and add a 5th by doing a clean victory over Bobby Roode, which to me stood to be the best chance for a legitimate feud for that title going into SummerSlam.
Well, I ain't in the business of trying to help nobody who can't help themselves. So what I'm doing right now, because this is broken pencil logic, I'm going back to the well again. I'm going Dolph Ziggler, Seth Rollins. What's the gimmick? What you want to put on it? Best 2 out of 3?
No, because Iron Man essentially takes the 2 out of 3 and ooh.
Aha.
No, because we had last man standing.
Ladder match.
You think so?
Ladder match.
Are we recreating Shawn Michaels and Diesel though?
Absolutely, we are.
I like it.
Absolutely, we are.
Write that. You can't write this.
You cannot write this. There is no pad in front of me. We're doing this all on the fly.
All right, Nakamura.
Shinsuke Nakamura. So, this is where things get interesting. Is Jeff Hardy crippled or not?
Jeff Hardy is hurt. He's not injured.
He's well on his way to being crippled if he doesn't get some time off. So
I don't think we see him next week. Not after when you see SmackDown and see what Randy Orton did to him.
So are we gonna ride this mule through SummerSlam, or are we gonna shelve him? What are we gonna do?
We are going to Jeff Hardy misses due to injuries next week. We catch him back in 2 weeks.
Okay, triple threat.
Now, however, Jeff is dancing with Randy Orton.
Triple threat. Shinsuke, Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, triple threat for the United States Championship.
Now, who says that we have to see a U.S. Championship match at SummerSlam?
Because it's SummerSlam and Shinsuke has earned this. He's taken enough L's to where he deserves to be on the pay-per-view.
Very true there. He's taking some stupid L's.
We want titles defended. We don't want any titles sitting on the sideline if they don't have to be.
And speaking of sideline titles, I know you haven't been watching 205 Live.
Not at all.
All right. I'm going to put this out there.
Relegated to the pre-show.
So, Cedric Alexander is currently the title holder.
True.
We also have the world's worst salesman, Leo Rush, now on the 205 Live roster, running up the ladder, proverbially speaking. He was up against Akira Tozawa tonight. And, of course, I didn't watch it because we've been recording the show. But do you think that we see anything other than a one-on-one match for Cedric Alexander for the belt?
You know what? I'm going to change this whole thing up because, it's broken pencil logic and we do what we want. I'm going to devote the whole pre-show to the cruiserweights. I want a cruiserweight gauntlet for the title.
You are reading my mind. That's the only thing logical I can see for a pre-show would be to put the cruiserweights all on showcase and say, hey, you guys want a tour? Here's your moment.
How many you want? 6?
I want 5. And then
5 in the champ. So
5
6.
in the champ. Yep.
So Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali,
Leo Rush, Akira
Tozawa,
and maybe do you want to bring back?
I want the Juggernaut.
Who?
I want the Juggernaut. I want Buddy.
Ooh.
I want Buddy involved. I want the Juggernaut.
Buddy needs to be number 2 because Buddy needs to carry the load.
That's fine. I don't care what order you put him in.
And I know they want. I know they're going to want to put Leo. Leo needs to go just before the boss. He needs to go just before Cedric Alexander. So we need to see Buddy Murphy all the way up to number 5.
Okay.
Buddy versus Leo Rush in a probably 8-minute clinic.
Okay.
Or a very fast 3-minute clinic for Leo Rush where Buddy still goes over.
I'm with it.
And has Cedric Alexander come in and put him away just for being tired.
Then who's our 6th competitor? I heard you about to bring somebody back out of the woodworks, and I think I'm on the same page with you.
What's my man? The Prince of Dab? The 8-bit dude.
Your ass. Oh, TJP.
TJP, yeah.
Okay, put TJP in there because I was gonna see if I could get Neville to come out.
Ooh, you bring him back?
Yeah, I want to bring him back, have him go over Cedric, and then start a new feud.
And they completely took the cruiserweights off Raw, right?
Yeah, it's no more.
Okay.
No more.
No,
it's after SmackDown at this point.
No. This is what I do.
What you got?
You run the gauntlet match with the 5 people.
Uh-huh.
The 6th one is Neville. Neville puts the beating on whomever, and not even in the match. You have no one to face Cedric Alexander. Now you have a clean, fresh Neville going against Cedric Alexander to get his title back. That he should have never lost to begin with.
Maybe. But the only reason I say you don't start with a fresh, clean situation.
No, after a beatdown, like you beat down the people that should have been fighting for the title, and then you take their opportunity for your own and take their belt while you're at it.
I'd rather just put him in the gauntlet as the last entry and then have him win, and then from there, that's where you pick up, and Cedric Alexander is getting his rematch.
So do you put Neville in as the welcome back face?
No, he doesn't have to be. It really doesn't matter because he's going to get a pop either way.
Yeah, he just needs to show up.
And then on the next 205 Live, you can turn him back heel, or you can do whatever you want to at that point. But I don't watch. You've said it. I don't watch enough 205 Live to really completely book that. But I know what I want to see for a pre-show.
I can dig
it. Raw tag team titles. B team.
I feel real sorry for the B team.
I got 2 options. I'm gonna go with my first option because that's gonna be the one that gives me the most joy.
I feel real sorry for him on either way on this. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go B team versus the Deleters of Worlds
for a rematch.
Final deletion. Hardy Compound. Complete comedy squad.
At the pay-per-view?
Pre-tape for the pay-per-view.
Ooh. I don't know if Barclays would like that.
See, I don't care. They're not booking this. I don't care.
Okay. All right. I'm with that because we gotta get some cameos from some legends. We have to.
Exactly. I want them to be able to get a full production, get the rub. Those two guys are entertaining. They're gonna have some funny spots.
And shouts out to Jeremy Borash.
Yeah, and I want a complete spectacle. And I want it because it's a 4.5 hour show. You can't tell me that they can't stomach watching, a 20-minute pre-tape if it's entertaining.
Even still, that the house at Barclays probably won't even see the pre-tape. They can just call it an intermission, and we can watch it and enjoy it at home and revel in the greatness.
Either or,
because that's exactly what happened when Raw was here in Dallas, and you saw Braun Strowman versus Elias, and we didn't.
This is true. Because truth be told, if we don't book it like that, they're gonna end up on the pre-show.
What's option 2?
Option 2 is AOP.
That's why I say I feel real sorry for him because I
don't want because I feel like they could end up retaining for Final Deletion.
They may end up retiring versus AOP.
The way I book Final Deletion is that Bray ends up turning on Hardy, or if you just want to leave Bray a face, Hardy turns on Bray.
Where does Hardy go? Hardy did all this work to get Woken and bring this gimmick to WWE. Where does he go now? Does he have something in the clip ready?
He can stay Woken. It's heel.
Okay. That's pretty much what he did.
One of the two has to take time. Is going to have to take some time off to sell it.
But he has to be more. He has to be more sadistic. Like when he was in TNA and he was the heel Broken Hardy.
That is absolutely fine by me.
Yeah, he's got to get grimy.
He can either be more sadistic or he can take a break or he can be somebody's mouthpiece. I don't care what he does. This is just what we're going to do. At SummerSlam.
Said he needs to be Bray's mouthpiece to get Bray over so that Bray can get a belt.
It's too late for that.
Bray's done.
He's not done, but some things need to happen.
And they're not happening right now.
They're not happening right now. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start the ball rolling like this here.
Now, while we're talking about tag belts, right?
Yep.
You got AOP. Naturally, they definitely go. There's no way to beat Team beats AOP.
I'd have AOP spoil everything.
AOP is LOD in 85, running through all the independents and all the regional territories.
Right.
They go... Honestly, I want to see them butt heads with the Bludgeon Brothers belt for belt.
That's
that night.
You'll get it at Survivor Series.
Well, no. I'm saying, of course, we get a Survivor Series, but we get the teaser.
Yeah.
As soon as Bludgeon Brothers beat whomever.
Yeah. AOP beats B Team in a squash. Then while they're walking to the back with the new belts, they walk by the Bludgeon Brothers, and that's your tease for Survivor Series.
And it's just a nasty stare down.
Yeah.
Who does Bludgeon Brothers get to beat up on?
At this point, it is really difficult to say. But because the bar hasn't been on television and we have time to build for SummerSlam, I say we go face with the bar.
I'm going to tell you who I want to see. I want to see them against Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane.
Oh, you want to go Sanity versus the Bludgeon Brothers?
Yes.
I like that. I like that.
I
like that better than the face bar.
You get two nasty heel tag. Well, Sanity's their gray area because you don't they're so grimy you want to like them.
You cheer for the chaos, but you don't really.
Yeah, but they don't care that you cheer for them.
Right.
Yeah, and
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and you're just gonna cheer because you're just gonna see just mass mayhem.
That's an even better option. To me, that's a better option than a face bar challenging the Bludgeon Brothers because I needed somebody to help build up the Bludgeon Brothers.
That they'll do it.
And that would give them a great match. And the bar is the first team that came to mind because they haven't been on television as much.
And it's funny because that you say that they haven't been on television because that's the biggest gripe we had with Sanity since the shakeup. Is the fact they haven't been on television. Now we finally get them, and we're not getting enough of them. This
is true. So we've put Asuka with we're scrolling the rest of the roster here. I need Sasha and Bayley to go ahead and have a knockdown drag out over this lovers quarrel.
I hate to say this, they're definitely going to be on the pre-show.
It's unfortunate. They probably should know it's no probably. They should have a better spot than that, but
they're going to be on the pre-show. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Especially with a 4.5 hour show, you should be able to find some space for them on the actual show.
I still think we are going to see at some point Hollywood Hulk Hogan?
Maybe. So, scrolling the rest of the roster. Of course, we're gonna stick with Daniel Bryan versus The Miz.
Yes, that's set in stone.
That's set in stone.
How is Jericho still listed on the roster and he's the Intercontinental Champion of New Japan Pro Wrestling?
One, he still has a working relationship with WWE. Two, the media team has not gone through and swept.
Obviously not. Do we see Wilder and Dawson?
Not right now.
We don't see them at all at pay-per-view?
No.
Okay.
I'd like to have them there, but let's just be honest. Like, it's just not enough. It's not enough room.
Do we see Ember Moon?
No.
That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate, and I usually like to rep for the hometown and have her featured, but
D-Town Boogie.
Rather than give her a spot that doesn't mean anything, you know, unless there's going to be like a number one contenders battle royal, or you're going to create something that matters, there's no need to take up a lot of time.
McIntyre and Elias.
So, I'm going to say, because this is what I had planned for McIntyre. McIntyre versus Reigns.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. Let it sink in.
That works.
Yeah,
that works.
McIntyre versus Reigns. So.
And do you think Elias goes against Rollins?
Nah, they got Rollins and
Oh, you got Rollins back.
I got Rollins and Ziggler in a ladder match.
Okay. So who did that leave from the 6-man? Lashley's busy. So Elias is dancing by himself, unless you go with Elias and Balor, but that's a Raw match.
I'm doing these two.
No,
I'm not even doing and
the other one that he's referring to is Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I am doing a sing along. I'm doing a segment.
It is not okay. It's not a match.
It's not a match. It's a segment. There's no match.
It ends with a rock bottom and a guitar shot.
So Elias would come out, do and promote his album. He's gonna do a live performance of his number one single from his album.
I have but one question.
Right.
Who are you?
Right. So I'm doing a segment with Elias and The Rock at Barclays.
Okay.
Tell me that's not money.
That is money. And
sauce money.
And could also be, in Brooklyn, sauce money.
Yeah.
It could also be the beginnings of what I've been asking for, the Samoan Dynasty.
I don't know how you turned that into the Samoan Dynasty. But
family over everything. It's a promo that kicks off The Rock's movie, Skyscraper. That also the WWE promo has Jey Uso and Naomi. And they specify
that is not how we going. That's not how we're gonna get there.
That you,
I understand what you're trying to do.
I would hope not, but we're talking about VKM.
I completely understand what you're trying to do. We're not gonna get there like that. Right. But definitely a segment for entertainment purposes.
We're looking at the WWE roster on WWE.com, and they have The Rock and Elias literally side by side, and it's because they're in alphabetical order. But the placement of those two, and considering that they have people that are no longer on the roster still on here. Kind of telling.
Okay, I just made something up on the fly.
What you got?
Give me Finn Balor.
All right.
Versus Baron Corbin. Now, on paper, you've seen it. But you have not seen it with the returning Jason Jordan.
Why?
As a heel.
Why does he matter?
Because he's Kurt Angle's son, but he's helping Baron Corbin. Yeah.
Ooh. As much as I hate it, it works.
See?
As much as oh God.
You didn't care about me, Dad. You sent me away, Dad. Yeah. So now when they boo him, it matters. You see? You see what I'm doing here? You see how I'm making this all fit?
Poor Gender. He has no one to dance with.
Give me some time. Give me some time to go through the rest of the roster. I'll come back and circle around, see if we can't find something for him.
Poor Rubber Bullet Club. They have no one to dance with.
It is rough on anybody who was in New Japan with with AJ. Let me keep scrolling. I'm looking for my money matches. Who else I got?
Mojo. I do not want to see you.
I feel like Mojo and Bobby Roode should be in some sort of faction.
In a faction?
Yeah, like
that gets
Bobby Roode needs to be heel.
There's no question that he would be the best heel on the roster. He would be a better heel than Miz would.
Bobby Roode absolutely needs to be heel. I'm gonna break up this whole Rusev Aiden English thing.
Well, what do you do with Rusev? Because I'm telling you now, you leave Rusev, or you take Rusev away from Aiden English, and Aiden English gets future endeavored.
It's not my problem.
You're not here to save jobs.
I'm not here for that. I'm here to book shows. I'm not here to save jobs. I'm here to give us the most entertaining. I'm here to entertain us. So I feel like let's turn Rusev face finally, because Aiden English keeps costing Rusev opportunities.
Okay.
Started with Extreme Rules. Then you cost him another match. Then you cost him another. Rusev obviously is angry, but Aiden English feels underappreciated. And because he's trying, and in Aiden's mind, he made him irrelevant, they split. Rusev gets his retribution.
Okay. All right.
Let's keep looking at the roster. Pre-show.
Shelton Benjamin.
Underutilized talent. Pre-show, though.
That's pretty much it. And sadly, Ty Dillinger has no one to dance with.
Yeah, Ty.
Again.
Yeah, catering. He will be dancing with chairs and catering. Yeah.
So do we not see KO until he goes ape shit?
You want KO? You want KO completely off television to sell his injuries?
Why, if we can do that with KO and Sami Zayn so easily, why can't we ever do that with Roman fucking Reigns?
Because he sells entirely too much merchandise and he gets entirely too much of a reaction.
That is sad. That's a sad state of affairs.
Like, you go back and look at Monday and the 6 people that were in the ring. Like, when Roman made his entrance, he got the loudest pop, good or bad.
Loudest reaction by far.
And then when they start running down the names of who was in each match, Roman Reigns got the loudest reaction.
He got the loudest pop and the loudest boo.
So I don't see a spot for Jinder. I'm not seeing a dance partner. I don't say I won't see a spot. I don't see a dance partner for him.
All right. Anything else you want to add to this before? Because after this one, we probably won't be reconvening again until just before SummerSlam.
Maybe I get a backstage segment with Jinder Mahal and Titus Worldwide.
For what?
To start planting the seeds of Apollo Crews' defection.
I would much rather see a returning Crime Time in Brooklyn than see a backstage segment between Titus Worldwide and Jinder Mahal.
What I'm saying is, like, strange bedfellows make for interesting television. So all I'm saying is, don't knock it until we get a chance to look at it.
Man, I want to see Apollo say, "I'm going back to Orlando. I'll see y'all later."
Do I bring Ambrose back?
Nah, you can't bring him back.
Do I bring him back to interfere in the ladder match?
I don't think you bring him back for that. So, like, see, a small, and I may be reading too much into this. I think a small seed was planted yesterday on Monday on Raw and Sunday at the pay-per-view.
What you got?
Seth Rollins wore black on fluorescent green tights. Or fluorescent green rather on black tights. On Monday, Roman Reigns wore fluorescent green on black tights.
I would have drawn more, and I see what you're saying. I would have drawn more into it if they did it on the same pay-per-view.
All the more reason the fact that they stretched it out on 2 consecutive nights, because that you smell Ambrose is right around the corner from a comeback.
They're just not that bright. They're just not that bright. Not
that bright is putting Seth Rollins in New Age gear and then put him in the Great Value Harlem Heat gear the very next day. That happened too before.
Hey, you got to wear what's in your bag. I tell you what, you don't want Jinder and Titus Worldwide in the backstage segment. Give me New Day and the Club, the Good Brothers, in a backstage segment.
I'm with that, but where in the pay-per-view? Pre-show or early in the show?
early in the show. Give not quite intermission status, but like give it
second,
to
third
him.
match in between.
Yeah. Give him a backstage segment there.
There it is. All right. When we come back, we'll have our Broken Pencil, our SummerSlam
mixtape.
Greatest hits. We're doing this. I'm Wood.
I'm Suave Burgundy.
Fans will be right back.
It's going to Seagulls.
Give me some hot chips.
Yo, 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 yo. It's crime time.
Brooklyn. Bringing it. The hood to you. Bringing it. What you gonna do? Bringing it. The hood to you. Bringing it. Yeah, that's how. Hey, yo, no more Hollywood. This is Hollywood. And it's crime time. Be scared, you probably should. I come from the streets. I was raised in the gutter. I run up on your mother for that bread and butter.
And we're back. Broken Pencil BC, the Broken Pencil Booking Company. I am Wood.
Stay classy, internet. I am Suave Burgundy.
BrokenpencilBC@gmail.com. BrokenpencilBC on all things social. Also, hashtag you can't write this. Hashtag mark my words. Hashtag Broken Pencil Logic. Hashtag Folk Life Shawty. We are doing our greatest hits SummerSlam mixtape.
Yeah.
With the same rules we did for a WrestleMania mixtape.
Break the rules down for him right quick.
One time. You can have anybody you want to from any match from any era. It's got to be from any SummerSlam pay-per-view, number one. Two, you cannot use the same wrestler twice.
Which means if you have The Rock in match one, you cannot have The Rock again on your list.
Ever. Like you hear, if you hear one name on one person's list, you won't hear that person's name on that person's list again.
Right.
Kick it off, man. What you got?
Hey,
wait. I'm sorry. Is yours in any particular order?
No.
Okay. I put mine in order of the actual card. So, like, if you're listening to my mixtape, you're watching the card.
Okay. I'm gonna start off, and this is probably I'm gonna shatter the earth with my first pick. I'm gonna take a match off the pre-show. 2017, the New Day versus the Usos from the SummerSlam pre-show match of the night.
Let me tell you something. That feud, low key, may have been the feud of the year. Like
it was.
You don't determine what's classic by what you see the first time. You determine classic by what ages well.
Right.
That feud, if you go back and watch, if they had a collection on the WWE network of the Usos versus the New Day from 2016 through the end of 2017, you are witnessing tag team greatness, even in the singles form. Great choice.
Appreciate
Because that was not a pre-show match, and in fact, that match is what begot them at Hell in a Cell the same year.
There's no way they should have been on the pre-show, but that was the match of the night, and it was on the pre-show.
And they got rewarded greatly for it, and like 2 months later.
Who you got?
Kicking it off from SummerSlam 2005. Great match, terrible storyline. Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio Jr. for the custody of Dominic in a ladder match.
Good choice. I love that match. Good job. Dominic! I'm your daddy, Dominic!
I'm your daddy! Who's your daddy?
I like it a lot.
So now you see, we're gonna kick it off like if I'm gonna go building a card, I'm starting it with that one. We're gonna tear the house down early.
We with the shit.
Yeah.
I wish you'd have told me that, then I would have tried to build an actual card.
It morphed into that because you can't write this, so it morphed into that as I was doing the first half of the show today.
That's what's up.
Number 2, what you got?
Shawn Michaels versus Vader, 1996.
You talk about a rough match.
Yes, a rough match, literally and figuratively.
That was probably the last time you saw Vader in true Vader greatness.
That was the last great Vader match in WWF.
That might have been the last great Vader match, period.
Did he go back to Japan?
He went back to Japan, but we didn't see that. But I'm saying, arguably speaking, for what's been seen.
Gotcha. So you got to see Shawn Michaels break character. You got to see Vader at his best. You got to see Shawn pre-back injury when he was really hopped up and he had.
He was as you say, with the shit. He was with the shit.
He geeked up for that one. He geeked up, shouted. So he went out and handled his business. I think that was. It was excellent. That's all I can say. It was excellent.
All right. So coming up on my second match, this is a very interesting pick. I got it because of the placement of the match and the fact that it actually gives credit to women, not divas. Team PCB versus Team BAD from SummerSlam. I believe it was 2015.
I wanted so much more for Team Bad. I wanted so much more for them. I knew that could have been absolute gold had they left them together.
All those factions were pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Paige, Charlotte, and Bayley?
The original name that they had for that faction, I like better than PCB.
What was the original name?
The Submission Sorority.
I did not know that.
Because they said it in a promo. Like they were trying to get it over on their own. And I thought it was going to stick.
And somebody said, nah, this is what y'all are.
Right.
No bueno. But yeah, I think like that match was basically the precursor to what was supposed to have been the ammunition for the women's revolution that we are not seeing anymore. We're now seeing divas, like women's wrestler being divas again, which I don't want to see. But that was a kick-ass. If I'm not mistaken, that match was about 15 minutes long, too.
I just feel like at this point with the women's revolution, we should just be unloading the clip every show. Because you're only going to get 1 or 2 women's matches on the entire card. You need to be unloading the clip with your best matches every pay-per-view.
Even if you get one for 15 minutes, let them tell the story. It's okay.
It's fine.
We saw 2 matches get killed off the pay-per-view Sunday. 2 quality matches. So if we could do that, women should not have a problem getting over on TV shows.
I just don't think you have the luxury, especially with how, the roster isn't as deep as the male side. I don't think you have the luxury of just saying, well, we're going to hold off on this match until this time.
It goes without saying that the women's roster isn't as deep as the male roster on TV. However, you're still between both rosters, Raw and SmackDown, you're looking at over 20 women.
But you're not building 20 women at the same time.
You're not, but you still have a quality 20 matches. Easy.
So I'm at the point where it's like, okay, we should be seeing Charlotte, Asuka 2 now.
We should be seeing a bunch of stuff now, but
or give me Charlotte and Becky now.
Okay, we trying to write this and you can't.
All right.
All right. So back to the mixtape. What you got?
Since you want to represent for the women's revolution, I will as well. And people are gonna probably haze me for this, but when I remember watching it, and I remember it was entertaining as hell. Stephanie McMahon versus Brie Bella, 2014.
The bitch fest.
Turned.
I call that the bitch fest because Brie Bella did everything but break character during that thing. She got I think it was very well written.
Yep.
And the emotion was definitely there.
Stephanie put on her working boots.
And not only that, Stephanie put on her mouthpiece because she made Brie Bella go apeshit a couple times.
I loved it. It was great.
It was greatness. That was a good precursor to women's revolution too. Even though it wasn't going to be that with those two, but you kind of got the glimpses of some reality going on there.
At the time, that was the most heat you had ever seen for a women's match.
That was probably the most heat you had seen for women in a feud. Period.
Point.
And it's arguable. I'm open to listen to arguments, but that off the top of my head, that was a problem at the time.
For 2014, yeah. What you got? Number 4.
From SummerSlam 2000.
Ooh.
This was a good one. This is a great pay-per-view. And again, I'm going with match placement here. You would have seen this match 5 years prior in the first hour of Monday Nitro. I'm talking about Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit. 2 out of 3 falls.
Good choice. solid choice. That's a solid album cut. You couldn't
find 2 better wrestlers on any roster at that time to give you a wrestling match. And Chris Jericho had dialed it back at this point. We were seeing a completely different Jericho in summer of 2000 than what we had seen prior to that.
Good job. I like it.
What you got, man?
From 2016.
We going new.
Yeah, we put something new in there.
Okay.
Finn Balor, Seth Rollins.
That actually made my mixtape.
Did it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, we had the first cross-pollination.
For obvious reasons. Give me yours. I'll give you mine in a minute.
I mean, injury notwithstanding, it's just a fantastic contest. It's for the inaugural Universal Championship. The championship ship. Yeah, everything about that match was pretty damn entertaining. It's Finn Balor's first pay-per-view as the Demon. It's Seth Rollins in full rebuild, reclaim mode. It just made sense to put this on the list.
I totally agree. Like, but the fact that I told you it made mine, I totally agree. You'll understand why I put it where I put it on mine here shortly. Gotcha.
What you got next?
Top of hour 2. If we're going to do this like it can't get any better than this.
You breaking down a whole show segment.
Oh man, this is broken pencil logic. You know what I'm saying? Mark my words on this one. Shane O'Mac versus Eric Bischoff, 2003.
I forgot about that.
Jesus Christ.
I swear to God, I forgot about it.
You had Eric Bischoff, Mr. Karate Kid Danielson, if you will.
Right.
And Shane O don't give a Fiznaik O'Mac just jumping off of the Van Terminator he hit in this match. Like, it was Shane just and mind you, Bischoff couldn't carry his own weight if you spotted him the luggage in a wheelbarrow.
Yikes.
But Shane made this. Anytime you got Shane O'Mac involved, there's going to be high spots and there's going to be a train wreck. Anytime you have McMahon versus Bischoff, McMahon will always win. This may be, and I might have to look this one up later. This might have been Shane O'Mac's only pay-per-view win ever.
Damn. That's good trivia stat shit.
If you have anything, send it to BrokenpencilBC@gmail.com. Let me know if you really about your stats like that and you can dig that up.
We do need a statistician on the staff.
Anybody that can sun us, we welcome you.
I ain't say all that.
Hey, shut up. Hey,
I ain't gonna agree to all that. I'm grown up.
What you got, man?
2001 hardcore ladder match.
Oh no.
Jeff Hardy versus Rob Van Dam.
The best of the bag.
Yeah, buddy.
That was a lot of weed.
You know how much weed was smoked between the two of them?
How would you? Who smoked? Would they smoke more before or after the match?
Van Dam more before.
I don't know.
Van Dam smoked that morning in the hotel and smoked one on the way to the arena.
Great choice. Great SummerSlam match too. That's a sunshiny top back kind of match right there. Mm-hmm. Like you get your high spots and you get your smiles all at the same time.
All of that. The internet community is pleased right now. Who you got?
SummerSlam 2014, the birth of Suplex City.
Damn it!
John Cena versus Brock Lesnar in a massacre.
You got me. That is on my list. That is on my list.
How can it not be in a massacre?
There's 16 suplexes.
There was a couple of Lesnar matches that could have made the list. There's a few Cena matches that could have made the list. This match right here stood out because of 16 fucking suplexes.
I almost feel like changing it so we can get somebody else on the list now.
I want to tell you no.
Okay. I'm gonna abide by the rules, but I feel like, damn, bro.
You shouldn't. No, it's fine. Trust me. I think it's good. What you got?
1991.
We're going back to the old school. Is that the first SummerSlam?
No.
I know. I'm just being.
I'm
being real funny with that one.
1991. Mr. Perfect versus Bret Hart for the Intercontinental Championship.
If you were a wrestling fan, that is a wrestling fan's match right there.
Now the Smarks are in an uproar.
They love you, Suave Burgundy.
Right now, I am an internet darling, fam. My follower count just went up. My approval rating is through the roof. I am a man of the people.
If I dare say, I think Jim Cornette just gave you his first compliment without cursing.
Thank you. Fuck you, bye.
I want that t-shirt. What's up, Jim Cornette?
Yeah, who you got?
James E. After witnessing such a broke back mountain pause on Lesnar, we all seen it from Lesnar.
Jesus.
There's only one way to go. If we're going to crash and burn, we're going to take it back to SummerSlam 2000. Tables, ladders, and chairs.
I'm glad you did that because I ran out of room.
The Hardy Boys versus the Dudley Boys versus Edge and Christian.
There's a lot of people to take up off of a list, so you got to be really confident when you do that.
Let me tell you something. Christian has been in some SummerSlam classics. Jeff Hardy has been in some SummerSlam classics.
True.
Edge has been in some SummerSlam classics.
He was carrying SummerSlam for a couple of years.
Edge was Mr. Summers. He was Mr. WrestleMania through Hell in a Cell for about 4 years. And I just literally killed 6 superstars.
6. That's a really strong conviction in your choice when you're willing to take 6 people with one move.
And mind you, I almost did it with an Elimination Chamber, and I didn't do that, but I did it in a tag team match with people who are literally grounded in tag team wrestling, and I only sacrificed 4 of the 6.
Good job.
Who you got?
From 2002. A curtain jerker.
Oh.
Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio Jr.
That was Mr. Three Eyes back then.
That might be the greatest curtain jerker, not only in SummerSlam history. That might be the greatest curtain jerker in pay-per-view history.
Man, you, if you saw Kurt Angle come out for that match, the way he walked to the ring, the way he savoired himself.
That match was so fucking live. Like they were geeked up for that.
There was never a more fluid Kurt Angle. You've seen different incarnations where Kurt showed glimpses. I remember a match that was on SmackDown. It was an Iron Man match. If I'm not mistaken, was it him and Benoit, or was it him and Guerrero?
We'd have to go back and double check that.
Either way, it was. I remember it was an Iron Man match. I want to say it was him and Benoit because they were breaking out suplexes like crazy. And Kurt Angle was, even though it was a great match, he was nowhere near as fluid and as smooth as he was in that curtain jerker that you're talking about with Ray in 02.
That's best wrestler in the world, Kurt Angle.
With a broken freaking neck, Kurt Angle.
Yeah, that's best wrestler in the world. Who you got?
Take it back to 1992.
Ooh.
This is the first time we even gave a shit about any company going across international waters to put on the pay-per-view, and we saw 2 brothers-in-law go at it for the Intercontinental belt.
This is a fine choice.
Davey Boy Smith versus Bret Hart.
I got you.
At Wembley Stadium.
That's good. I like that.
That match speaks for itself. Who you got?
I'm gonna go ahead and give off the one that you stole. Suplex City Thon. Brock Lesnar, John Cena, 2012.
Brutal.
For
14, you mean?
No, it's 12.
Cena and Lesnar? Mm-hmm. Nah, go back. Do your Googles, fam.
No, you're right. Wait a minute. It's 14. You're right.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I thought that was 2012.
I don't know, because 2012 was
probably during my research. 12 was Punk? 12 was Lesnar Triple H.
So when was Punk Cena for the real WWE World Heavyweight title?
That was 11.
Okay. Damn, that was that long ago?
Yeah.
Because that was the one when he came back after taking the belt and put it in the refrigerator, right?
Yep.
That's funny. All right. Taking you back to 1995. Kicking off hour number 3. HBK versus Razor Ramon for the real Intercontinental Championship in a ladder match.
I'm glad you did this. 1, because I had already used Shawn Michaels for a match. 2, doesn't make me feel bad about having multiple ladder matches on my card.
I mean, I had a TLC match on here too. So.
Right, so I'm saying, so I don't feel bad about multiple ladder matches.
Technically, that makes my 3rd ladder match.
3rd. You're getting gimmick happy, Russo. What are you doing?
What's this, Extreme Rules for real?
So, yeah, I'm happy with that. That's you've done good work. You've done good work. I don't have to go back and try to pull up like Diesel and Razor Ramon from '94.
Right, or the
that almost made my list too.
Hey, speaking of making the list, We failed to mention that the one match on anybody's card that could not make this list just by default by the rules would be, was it 94?
1994, the main event.
Undertaker versus Undertaker.
The Domino's sponsored SummerSlam. I say you could do it because it's Bulldozer Brian Lee versus Mark Calloway. But
Brian Lee.
Yeah.
But it was still Taker versus Taker.
The Undertaker versus the Undertaker. Apparently, according to Wood, that won't make the list.
It is frowned upon.
I wouldn't frown at you. That's just him frowning at you. I wouldn't do that.
What you got, man?
1996. Boiler Room Brawl.
Ooh.
The Undertaker versus Mankind.
That one was literally, if I had room for one more match, that one was going to be it just because of who was involved.
It's disrespectful not to have the Undertaker involved, number one. Number two, this is a fantastic match. It's innovative. It's a great story. And again, it's disrespectful to have not have the Undertaker on this list.
Let me be very, very clear, Stephen A. Tone. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Mr. Calloway at all. I'm putting together a mixtape. I'm trying to ride with this. And Boiler Room Brawl wasn't something I really wanted to ride with, but if I had to, it was going to go on here.
You got to have that abstract feature on there.
Side note. Right. Oh, you definitely... Gimmick. I'm for the gimmicks. I'm with the shit. I got 3 ladder matches on the shit.
Right.
I said earlier... I don't know if it was recorded or not, but I did say earlier that the one of the longest matches in SummerSlam history was a 28-minute affair with Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man Randy Savage, and which Savage was counted out. If I'm not mistaken, this match was slightly longer. Do the Googles on that. That was a long-ass match.
Well, it worked its way through the entire building. So I mean, you gotta
from the boiler room, if you will.
Let's see, 26:40. So
it's damn short. Close. Damn close.
Hell, the main event was 22:58.
Yeah.
Okay. What you got?
All right. For a couple of different reasons, outside the fact that it was a good ass match, but this mismatch possibly changed the course of wrestling history with its finish. Owen Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I'm 97. Glad you put that one on there because that was gonna be my bonus track.
Yeah, that one. That was just the all out brawl when Steve Austin was actually wrestling. He wasn't quite the brawler yet. He was out and out wrestling, and it was all about the fuck Bret Hart shit. And because I mean, it's pretty much what it was. And that I don't understand like. Who thought it was okay to invert that pile driver and do a old school pile driver from the tombstone position on Austin? I don't care how big your neck is. That's not going to end good for you.
He smashed, but Owen Hart smashed on Dan Severn with that same pile driver. It became a thing.
Right. Well, of course, you had to make it safer after that, but. Before that, like when that happened,
later in life, it became greetings from Asbury Park, and then then the guy's head is like 8 inches away from the mat.
Right.
Yeah. It's like his nose is in his crotch.
Yeah.
You can't do that with the head exposed below the buttocks. It's just you're asking for trouble.
No, and Austin, we wanted it too. He said, "Give it here," and apparently there was blow up afterwards. But I mean, when you ask for something, you're going to get it.
You usually get it.
What you got?
My last record on here, so technically by your standards, this is my main event. 1998.
Oh, you're going to the heart of the Attitude Era.
The Rock versus Triple H, ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship.
The fact that, okay, I want you to repeat that again. Main event.
The Rock
versus
Triple H
for
the Intercontinental Championship.
People, you don't understand how powerful what this man just said is.
Do you see how that played into how I booked SummerSlam?
Yeah.
SummerSlam has a tradition of ladder matches for the Intercontinental Championship.
Agreed.
It's an unspoken tradition, but it is a tradition because it is on paper and it's documented.
Yes. And it also has a tradition of Intercontinental matches leading the pay-per-view. Like main eventing. And that is Like, even the fact that you have 2 first ballot Hall of Fame main eventers going at it for the Intercontinental ladder match, or Intercontinental title, rather, before their primes.
Right.
Like, this is when you could see anybody grabbing the IC belt and knowing that you were okay watching whatever comes from them having the IC belt.
You would absolutely... It was at the point where you had main eventers that were so over that 2 future Hall of Famers, one who went on to be the most famous man in the world,
the richest person in Hollywood history,
absolutely secondary.
This is 2 years after he was told to die.
Die, Rocky, die.
And ending my pay-per-view, my mixtape, Balor vs. Rollins in 16. Just the fact that it was the first Universal title. You had a title that just, it was literally created out of thin air because Ambrose took the SmackDown belt, World Heavyweight title belt, made it the SmackDown belt, left Raw with nothing. So you got Balor and Rollins, who were easily the 2 best on the roster at the time.
Right.
Going at it was, which should have been a blood feud by 90 standards, in that actually we couldn't get blood. But like you said, injury withstanding, this match holds up now, and it served its purpose. It just also became the curse of the Universal Championship.
But they have melted Balor all the way back down to whatever he was before he got there. Now
he's going rubber.
Yeah.
And that's my mixtape, man.
We got some pretty dope mixtapes. One thing I noticed, Hogan is nowhere in sight.
Hogan is nowhere on here, and we talked about him.
And it's not on.
If I can put Benoit on my list, I could have put Hogan on here.
It wasn't, to me. It wasn't like a purposeful omission.
Tell me you ain't rocking with this mixtape, fam.
This mixtape is solid.
Hey, we jamming in this bitch.
Like, we got 2 of them that are the same. So what is it like?
It's still 8 solid matches. If
16, that's 16 total.
Yeah. So if you're not getting 4.5, 5 hours worth of enjoyment out of these, which, I mean, shit, we gave you 2 matches off the top that's gonna burn up an hour. So if you're not getting like some good, sit down, you can make you a collection. Use WWE Network app, make you a collection. I
swear this option needs to be available so that we can make these mixtapes and release them.
I'm sure coming soon. They keep sending us surveys. That shit's coming.
I feel like we need to sit in on a research and development meeting and try to make this happen.
And on that note, you need to keep applying for creative positions, because we got to be able to write this, and right now you can't write this.
Eventually, I'm at least gonna get the interview.
There you go.
When I get the interview, then I feel like I'm validated. But if I keep saying shit here on this podcast, chances are they'll never call me.
But we'll know they're listening.
But they'll call me for something else.
Understand, we have analytics. We can see things.
They'll call us for something else. They just won't call for a creative position.
If I see Stanford on here one time, I'm going knocking on somebody's door.
The first time I hear one of my ideas or see one of my ideas come to life on television, sternly worded letter. Sternly.
Followed by cease and desist.
For real. Hey, you got any bonus tracks? Since we left Hogan off, which it wasn't on purpose, but I mean,
if
I don't feel bad about it.
If I'm throwing a bonus track, I'm having a third match that matches one of yours, which is going to be the Boiler Room Brawl, Undertaker versus Mick Foley.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mankind.
I feel like I want to get Randy Savage on this list, but I don't know how.
Can you do it without using someone that can? Well, yeah, you can.
No, I was just gonna say just give him a bonus match, and it doesn't matter who it's against. Just you get a bonus cut. And you can use somebody twice.
Oh shit, Randy Savage and Steel. I mean, Ultimate Warrior. It's a count out, but it's a 28-minute match from someone who couldn't work 28 minutes.
That don't mean he get to make it. That don't mean he get to make it.
28 minutes of Savage though.
28 minutes of Savage. I can get 28 minutes of Savage from anybody. 28.
Truth. Very, very true.
Savage got a whole mixtape, a whole collection on the WWE Network of 28 and 30-minute matches.
That's crazy.
If I'm gonna take any 30-minute match with Savage and Warrior, it's gonna be from WrestleMania 7. Always and forever, Luther Vandross's voice.
Word up. So give me your bonus joint.
truth be told, off the top of my head, I can't come up with one.
How the hell is a person asking for bonus cuts can't come up with a goddamn bonus?
Because I was just adding content to the show.
You're fired until we do our next show.
CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar.
Sure, I'm here for that. I'm here for all that. The fact that Paul Heyman was in the middle on this one in real life.
Yeah, anytime CM Punk, Paul Heyman, and Brock Lesnar are involved, it's a good idea.
Yes, best for business.
CM
if
Punk
you
looking
will.
like Wolverine.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He looked just like
right when the last Wolverine movie dropped.
Yeah. Only thing he needed was his hair spiked back.
That's it.
Speaking of that's it.
That is it.
Yeah. So Broken Pencil Logic, hashtag Broken Pencil BC, hashtag you can't write this, hashtag mark my words, hashtag fuck life shorty, folk life shorty. That's FOKELYFESHAWTY.
At BrokenpencilBC on everything.
At brokenpencilgmail@gmail.com for the emails. And if you're in the DFW area, Lava Cantina this coming Sunday in the colony, bell time is at 6 p.m. We will be there for the World Class Revolution program.